Hey guys, today I thought I'd build another trellis for our raised beds, and while I'm at it, do a video and show you guys how I did it. So let's get started on it. Alright, so some of the things you're going to need for this project are a tape measure, a pencil to mark with, a square. You're also going to want a drill with a drill bit small enough to pre-drill your holes for the 1 1/4 inch exterior screws. And then you're going to want drill bit with a Phillips head that you can put those screws in with. And of course, you're also going to need the 1x2s. Try to pick out the straightest ones you can for the 2 on the end and the one that goes in the middle. Those are the ones that are going to go into the ground, and you're going to want those to be as straight as possible. Now, the other horizontal boards don't need to be quite as straight. It's nice if they're straight, but you can kind of force them to go where you want them to go as you're drilling them into the vertical strips. First thing I did is I measured 6 inches down from the top and made a mark, because that's where my first horizontal board is going to go. And the next thing you're going to do is you're going to find the center of your first horizontal board. And these are 8-foot boards, and when I checked, they were right on the money at 8 foot, so I'm going to mark this at 4. So there's my center. And that's going to be my center vertical board right there. And then to make it easier on me, like I said, I know these boards are 1.5 inches. So I'm going to measure over 3/4 of an inch. And that's actually where the edge of my board is going to be. So I can line that up, and it's easier than trying to line that up with the center when you're covering your mark over and you can't find it. Now these first several steps are pretty tedious, so it's going to take a little bit, but once you get the 3 vertical boards established in the top horizontal row, you're going to see how quick these go together. Now if you don't have an air stapler, it's not going to matter. You can still complete this task without it. I just find it a lot easier if I can just put one staple to hold it in place while I'm moving the rest of the stuff around, and then I come back and pre-drill all my holes and put the screws. The thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come down from here and I'm going to measure the 8 inches. You can see I got a mark there at 8 inches, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to mark all of them. And basically I'm going to add, remember these boards are 1.5 inches, so I'm going to add 9.5 inches. That's going to leave width for the board in between. You can see there's 1.5 inches. 9.5 inches. So I'm going to measure down 8 inches for the first one, then 17.5, then 27 inches, 36.5, and then 46 inches. And that's going to help me quickly move my horizontal boards into the correct position. So I pre-measured all the vertical strips, and I went through and I found the center on all of the horizontal strips, as well as measured the 9 inches down. So I've got all these boards placed pretty close to where they're going to go, and now I can just start squaring them up, moving them in position, stick a staple in them to secure them so they don't move around on me, and then I'll come back and pre-drill everything. Alright, so I got all my horizontal strips laid out, and they're all squared up, everything's tied together, so nothing's going to shift on me. So the next thing I'm going to do, if your measurements are correct, you should have 36.5 inches between your 2 vertical strips here, which, you know, I'm off a little bit, but it's close enough. I'm off about 1/16 of an inch or so for a trellis. I'm happy with that. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to measure my 8 inches, my 17.5, and my 27 inches. And I'm going to mark each one of these boards, and that's where these 5-foot vertical strips are going to go. So I'm going to go ahead and mark those right now. And I'm going to mark every board, and the reason why, when I was talking earlier, some of them are a little bit warped, they're not exactly straight. I'm going to start from the top and work my way down, and I'm just going to line up. And if all my measurements are square and everything, these vertical strips should also be square. You don't want to forget to measure 6 inches down so they can stay consistent across the top. This is where the project really gets time consuming. I'm going to go through and pre-drill all the holes, and I'm going to put 2 in each connection. So I'm going to beat a little bit. Got one more step left for building the trellis itself, and that's putting in these 1¼ inch exterior screws into the pre-drilled hole. Got all the screws in, the trellis is built, and the next step is installing it into the raised bed. So we'll take a look at how we did that. So we installed our trellis into a 2-inch PVC pipe that we installed into the raised bed. This is 2-inch PVC cut 36 inches long. What I did is I measured down 33 inches from the top, drilled a hole and put the bolt in. What that's going to do is allow that vertical support to come down and rest on top of that bolt, and if I get them all the same height, it'll keep it nice and level. We have 2 trellises installed into this raised bed right here, and we wanted to install another one right in the center. So what I did is I split the distance between the two. I'm going to put the center one in first, and I'm going to measure over and put the other 2 PVC pipes in based off of that. So we got the 2-inch by 36-inch PVC installed, all 3 of them for each vertical support. Next, all we got to do is put in the trellis. Alright, so as you can see, the trellis is a little bit wobbly, so what I do is I take one of the extra boards that I cut off of these 5-foot strips and I put it down in between, and that helps level it up and keep it sturdy. I'm going to do that for each one of them. I'm also going to come and pre-drill 3 holes in here and put the 1¼ inch screws in there to make it all nice and solid. That's how we built and installed our trellis. Hope you found this video useful, and if you like it, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and check back for some more videos. Thanks for watching. And you definitely don't want to set your glasses down and forget where you put them, because you're probably going to step on them, and that's not a good thing.